We got Amare Stoudemire on the Arizona Sports Line right now. This is awesome. Amare, thank you so much for the time,
Let's go.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? What's happening? Everybody's good?
Yes.
Man, how you doing, Amare?
I'm feeling good, brother. Feeling good.
Let's start with that, man. Let's not bury the lead here. Just the emotions you have about being inducted into the Suns Ring of Honor next about a month and a half from now.
I mean, I feel great about it, bro. I think I'm extremely excited. My family's excited about it. Dave was born and raised in Phoenix, and to see their father growing up in the Raptors is going to be a great moment for them and also for myself. I mean, the time I put in Phoenix and the enjoyment I've had there with the fans and the people of Arizona, to see this happening is going to be a very, very exciting night.
Amare, do you mind if I ask you to get a little personal here? How did you find out that you were going into the Ring of Honor?
I got a call from Matt. Matt called me and said, "Hey, I got some good news for you, and it's been long overdue." And once he said that, I'm like, "Hold on, is this the call for the jersey retirement?" And he was like, "We're gonna definitely retire your jersey." And that was a great day because that was also my son's birthday, who's also my namesake. So it happened to kind of work, all together at the right moment. So it was definitely a beautiful, beautiful day.
We're talking to Amare Stoudemire. Amare, what do you remember most about that era? I mean, like you and Steve Nash, you're the faces of an era of Suns basketball that was really successful.
Yeah, you know what? I think the excitement we had, the enjoyment we had playing together was something that you can't duplicate, right? I mean, it happens, you're in the moment and you're loving it, but you're not understanding how much history you're actually making because you're in the mix. And I think as we look back on that now from the outside looking in, how special that time was because we were actually changing the face of basketball. We were changing the game of basketball, and being a part of that trend-setting moment was special.
So, Amare, right now, I played 10 years in the National Football League myself, and I miss the physicality. I miss the contact every day. That, to me, was the best part about it. What do you miss the most?
I miss the competitiveness, right? I mean, it was like my whole objective, and as you guys kind of saw me play, was to dominate. So every time I attack the rim, every time I'm around the basket, I'm looking to force my will upon the opposing team. And that dominant mentality is something that was one of my staples. And so not having that type of energy to do that now that I'm retired, that's the part I miss, being able to dominate and show the fans, the people that are watching, that Stoudemire is like out there trying to oppose his will and taking force on the rim. I think that's what I miss the most.
Amare, I can tell you, I think a lot of Suns fans miss seeing that too over the last few years from Amare on the Suns. What are there players when you look around the NBA right now that you like watching?
I like watching. Obviously, I like watching Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Right, those guys to me are like the pinnacle of fundamental basketball and excellence in the sport, right? As far as being able to create your own shot and have balance and have a poise and have a sense of IQ of the game. I also like watching Joel Embiid play, and I enjoy watching our Jokic out of Denver. I think he brings a different style of basketball. Reminds me of kind of Sabonis back in those days when he passed so well and being able to use that footwork to get a shot off. All those guys are special in their own way.
Amare, any regrets from your career when you look back after all the years that you played? Do you have any regrets?
I mean, you always have to live with your regrets, but there's always regrets, right? I mean, I wish I would have known about this rule that you can't step on the court if an altercation happens. It's out of my control. I didn't know about the rule. I don't think Boris did either. And so that was always something that we would love to take back. I wish I would have had the opportunity to stay in Phoenix and play my entire career there. That was my ultimate goal. I had built a home in the Biltmore, and I was ready to extend my career there and finish my career in Phoenix. So those two, even though I enjoyed myself in New York, but I think those two moments were situations that I would love to somewhat try to redo.
I can safely tell you we all regret that rule even is a rule. We're talking to Amare Stoudemire. Amare, do you see similarities at all between this new Suns team since they got Kevin Durant, just the way it's built? Any similarities between that and the teams you played on?
There are. I think there's similarity that you have multiple players that can create their own shot and get baskets. The team sport where you have guys that can really be able to oppose their will in the game of basketball, and that it's hard to scout a team that has that many threats, right? So I think that's the similarity I see now with this team opposed to the team that I played on in Phoenix, was that we have so many guys that can be a threat on the basketball court, and it's hard to scout.
Amare, everyone's talking about the Phoenix Suns, of course, in regard to the Big Three, and they have the Big Three, and, it's going to take time. Everyone needs to be patient with the Big Three and patient with this team, this iteration of the Suns. Is it a situation where you can be too patient?
Yeah, I think there's a there's that's a thin line to skate on, right? Because you have to want to, be great right away. You want to win right away, and so you don't want to wait too long. And being patient is something that's obviously a term that's been thrown around a lot, but there is a sense of patience, but then there's also a sense of urgency. So within that strategy, you have to find a way to eliminate the space in between by practicing hard, by studying film together, by working, with the other players and build chemistry. Like when Steve and I played, we had conversations about pick and roll and how to attack this and what should we do on this particular scheme. Or Sean and I will have conversations about, okay, you guard Dirk tonight, I'm guarding Dampier. You guard, we had this type of conversation that would allow us to speed up the process. And I think that's what needs to happen, is that when the three guys, Bill, Devin, and Durant, if they have a conversation about, okay, what do you like the ball? What do you want this? How do you want to see that? And have that conversation, that could speed up the process.
Amare, who was instrumental in your career and kind of getting you to where you ended up?
Obviously I had the determination to want to be the best player I can be, right? So that happened from an internal standpoint. But then also had, great role models in Phoenix, whether it was Kyle Fitzsimmons when I first got there, whether it was even Connie Hawkins would stop by and give some positive words of advice for me. Whether it was Mark West, who was there as well as player development, having these conversations. I had my teammates. When I first got there, I had Tom Gugliotta, who was a great, role model for me as far as what it takes to be great as a basketball player, and Penny Hardaway. And so I took all that positive information from everyone and applied it to myself.
Amare, speaking of teammates right now, who was your favorite teammate to play with? Do you have one?
Yeah, Steve was obviously my favorite teammate to play with because he was the ego-less point guard, right? And anytime you have a point guard, a true point guard, it helps everyone's game. Nowadays, as we see now, you don't see a lot of that, right? You see a lot of point guards that are scoring a lot and that are kind of for themselves. So for us, having a guy like Steve, who was a pass-first, ego-less point guard, allow all of us to play the game at a high level and be able to dominate other teams because teams didn't know where the ball was going to go. And that was great. So I enjoyed it. Steve was my favorite teammate for sure.
Amare, when you look at this year's Suns team, do you think they're missing anything like a point guard or anything else?
You have what it takes. It's just a matter of going out and just getting it done. You have a solid team. Everyone on that squad is pros and legit basketball players, and they have an opportunity to win a championship. It's just a matter of continuing to just work over the kinks, sort out the little minor details, and just keep pushing forward.
Amare, I got to ask you this right now, man. What are you doing right now? Are you making something? It sounds like there's a blender that is actually going.
Yeah. I just left the gym, man. So I'm home. I gotta cook some lunch. So I'm cooking like grilled chicken, some green beans and rice, right? Coconut rice right now.
Nice.
Sounds good, man.
Amare, thank you so much, man. Congratulations. All right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks a lot. That's Amare Stoudemire joining us right there on the Arizona Sports Line. Amare's one of the best.
That was awesome right there,
fantastic.
right? It was really cool because he was quiet when he was answering. But when you were asking the question,
multitasking, man.
Okay.
You got to be able to multitask to get into the Ring of Honor.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.